Fluffy the Destroyer, and welcome to my channel. I recently viewed a video from, let's see, and tell his name, Vinny Colleoni 62, link below. It's his grip with next-gen games, and I thought about a couple of things. Not really the whole... It's not about his vlog, like completely his vlog. There's just like a couple of things in next-gen gaming trends that I really hate from the bottom of my heart. And I see that companies today are doing it a lot. It's like a cool wave or something, I don't know. So, I just want to talk about them and see what are their, well, anyone's thought on it. So, number one, single-player game is becoming an endangered species. That's what Dean says at one point, and I have to disagree, with that. Yes and no. Well, it's really hard for me to say that because when I buy games, I usually don't go with AAA titles or the titles that are, what, $60, $70 or so. I try to stay away from that, from all the AAA hype. I try to stay away from the marketing hype and everything that has anything to do with big company games. Ubisoft, for example, that's the biggest culprit I hate. I would say recently, and this is something new, but Rockstar. I'm beginning to hate them as well. Not their games, but what they represent, like the lack of respect they have for gamers and console gamers alike at the same time. I mean, well, anyways, I could do another video on that, but that's gonna wait a bit. I mean, when you look at single-player games, like I buy indie games of all things. That's what I buy today. Most of the time, it's indie games from indie studios or people that, very small group of people that makes games and they release it. And there's always a single player game. If there's multiplayer, I could take the game Unepic, for example. Direct access IP, you type in the IP address of a person, boom, you're in. You can play with them. There are some ways that, well, that's the Steam version. No, that's not the Steam version. That's the version on GOG.com, because at first they took out the multiplayer version because it was, what Steam got was the beta version of the game. And it's always, or almost always like this in indie games. It's very small. You have a load of fun, and usually replayability or longevity, it's up to the roof. But for AAA games, I can't say that all the time. Like, for example, the Call of Duty games. There are some games that are made for multiplayer, not single player. They look cool, they sound cool, and the story, well, mostly of them don't exist, or if they do, you feel like it's been rushed or something, or like the emphasis was done on multiplayer alone. Take StarCraft 2, for example. You know that, or, well, you might think that that game was made for multiplayer only. Call of Duty as well, Battlefield as well. It looks like those games have been made for multiplayer only, even if there's a single-player campaign. I mean, I remember Bad Company 2. That game was done like in a couple of minutes, like 2 hours max or something, 4 hours. Very, very short. Very good experience, but very short. The last game that, well, not the last game, one of the first games that I played on multiplayer, except for Doom 3, which is a really long time ago, I remember having a load of fun, and this is a great example for the single-player game. Like getting to be an endangered species would be Medal of Honor Allied Assault. Yeah, of all things. You play the single player campaign, which can last for a couple of hours. I don't remember. I think it's 8, 9, 10, 16 or so. I know there's, I think there's 6 missions or something. Really great voice acting. I just love it. It's like a World War II kind of experience. I do have a weakness for that, though. And it's good. You had in a multiplayer feature on that game, and I mean, I played too much of that game. way too much. And I have to admit that I cheated as well. And it was fun. I mean, wall hacks, oh my god, this was really fun. And I swear, other people did that as well. I could tell it. I mean, I could see the guy from the other end, like in the wall. And I knew I was looking at him. And what do you know? The guy was looking at me. And there was a wall. Come on. I had fun. It was really fun. Single player campaign, I mean, I played Mission 2 over and over and over and over. If you know what I mean, or you don't, well, if you don't know what I mean, go play the game. Go on YouTube. You'll know what I mean by Mission 2. I mean, I've seen mods in there. Well, not really mods, but the servers, the multiplayer part, took the single player aspect of the game and made maps of it. I mean, there was already 6 maps on it. But they loved the game, so what they did, and these were really good maps, by the way, but there wasn't enough. So some of those guys, I think it was from the LMAO clan, if I'm right, if I remember, and what happened was they took the single-player maps, they made multiplayer versions, and they built some kind of rug and, like I think I'm not going to say this right, but the rug and tug kind of game type or game mode, which means the map was split in two. There would be the red and the blue team, and people would just fight each other, and the first person to go on the other side of the map would win. And that's how you would do it. And there would be all kinds of boxes, and the map was like modified to just to piss off people. That was part of the game. It was really fun, and I played way too much time on that server, especially that server. There's other servers as well. Hell, even today, well, I didn't check it recently, but I think it's active again. Well, it's still there. It should be there. The multiplayer should be really active right now. So, on to the second part. Internet-only games. This is another trend that I see that is pissing me off, and I wish it would die. Hey, I'm even gonna buy a shovel of all things. I'm gonna, like, bury it. I don't want to see it. Doom 3 is the biggest culprit, and SimCity is the biggest culprit as well. Those are games, like, everything is on a CD or DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. You buy the game in store, you get all the content, all the data on you, like on the CD or the DVD, you install it, and then bam! Updates required. You need internet. Okay. Fine. And then you discover there's no single player options. Well, there is, but you need internet option. Like, you need an internet connection. Wow, okay. And you play the game and you play it, so you wonder, where's the single player option? I mean, I don't want to play on the internet here. I don't want to play with people here. I just want to play alone. What if I go somewhere where there's no internet connection? What if I go somewhere, like to a friend's house or to a family's house, and I bring my computer and my laptop, and they have an internet connection, but it's really limited up to a point that if I use too much bandwidth, it's going to cost extra money. I don't want to do that. I mean, of all things, it's their internet connection. Your internet connection doesn't follow you. Yeah, we're that fucking idiot here. And no, it's that thing that really pisses me off, because all the data is on the CD, but for some reason you need an internet connection for that. To me, I believe it's just a way to make money and make sure that there's no piracy, or piracy would be discouraged, and it does seem to work. I know that if you go on Pirate Bay, I mean, you can get a cracked version of Diablo 3, I guess. I'm not even sure. I don't know. I got it here. I still play from time to time, so, you know. And for SimCity, of all things, this is something that I really hate, because those guys, those developers, the one that took care of SimCity, really believe that it's impossible to make a single-player version of that game. Bullshit. Every single SimCity game in the world works single-player. What's the problem? Everything is on the CD when you buy it, or the DVD when you buy it, or even when you download it. It's on your computer. Everything is there. The textures, the sound, the voice, everything. The game file, the data, everything, the scripts, the AI, everything. What makes you think? Like, I really don't understand. And this is something that wish I really that could die, or they just need to be honest. We believe PC gamers are pirated, or I believe that, well, we believe if this game will be released on PC, it's going to be pirated a bit too much. We want to make sure it's online. Fine, I can accept that, but they also have to accept that in a few years they have to remove it. I mean, let's face it. I don't think SimCity will do more money. I don't think SimCity is doing more money today than it was previously, like in a couple of weeks, like on launch. It's impossible. It doesn't make any sense as well. Microtransactions. This is a trend that I don't wish to die, but I hate it. I mean, some games are... this is wrong. I mean, there's something I don't like. I'm really not comfortable with this. I mean, microtransactions, I mean, everything costs money. Like, you pay the game $20, $40, $60, $80, I don't know. And then there's that stupid fucking hat you want, and you gotta pay $2, or even $1 or something. Better yet, you buy a game, you pay for the game, and then, or it could be free as well, then you play the game, and then you encounter something, like you do a mission, or you get a loot, like an RPG game, action RPGs. I think it's Neverwinter. Yeah, it's Neverwinter. And then, bam, you get a chest. Well, okay, let's open it up. Oh, it's cost you money. What? Yeah, it might be super cheap, like 50 cents or something, but then you see a whole list of premium type of currency money that you have to buy with real money, which costs you what? $500 for $5 or something. The point is this, like, you want something cool that will add to your game or something, you gotta pay more. I don't like it. I really hate it. I don't like it at all, because this is, it's just that I'm, it makes me queasy to think about microtransactions. I never liked the idea of microtransactions. Like, to me, I wish it could be all included inside the game, but that's just me. Which brings me to point number 4. DLCs. Right now, the recent most evil company right now would be Turtle... Oh, God. Turtle Studio? Let's see here. Turtle Rock Studios. Publisher. 2K Games. Yeah, fuck you, 2K Games. I mean, they built a game from the start with DLC. I know for a fact that if you love the game, you're going to play it more. I mean, hell, I played Final Fantasy VII on PlayStation 1 way too much. On PC games, Medal of Honor Allied Assault, Diablo 2, I lost my life to this, okay? I played way too much. Would I pay to get more? Sorry, beer is good. Probably so. I mean, when I love a game, I play it a lot. Why not? But building a game from the grounds up with DLC included is not good. Evolve, nope. 2K Games, I'm beginning a boycott on this. I'm gonna look away from 2K Games from now on until they earn my respect, because I feel that they don't respect PC gamers. Same goes with Rockstar, but I'm gonna go later on that. I need to fix up my rant on this, because it's beginning to be ridiculous, and the way they view PC gamers as well is just beyond unrespectful. So let's go back to our list here. And one of them, of the DLCs, is, The Crew. I did the beta. I played it. Personally, I don't like the game. It's a big piece of shit that costs, what, $60? Probably $70 on console, $60 on PC, I believe. Last I checked, that was it, and I just ignored it from that point. Casual game, they ignored every kind of physics that exists in the world. I mean, you can hit a tree at 100 miles an hour. your car will not be wrecked. I don't know. It's a garbage thing. It's made to get deal. It's made from the grounds up with DLC, and what do you know? After a couple of weeks, boom, DLC. Yeah, more cars. I don't know. More maps available. More parts of the map available. I don't know. I know there's cars, but for the rest, personally, I don't know. I don't care. I'm not even gonna look for that game. I mean, I know it's available on Steam, and I don't even care. Those type of games should die. They really should. There's a way to do DLC. I believe it's to be after the game is done. I mean, no one has a crystal ball here. What makes you think? Well, beside the pre-order, which is one of the biggest things that I hate in like the next gen. Well, this next gen trend, I didn't list that one. I think I forgot it, but I will talk about it. I mean, this is something that I really hate, which brings me to another point. The pre-ordering culture. I hate it. You know, usually what happens is this, or I think what happens, because I'm not an expert in this. You want to buy a game, you wait for the company. Well, that's what happened before. They released demos or sharewares. You were interested? Boom, buy the complete package. You pay a bit extra, and then you get the complete package. I would think of id Software demo, Doom. That was a shareware. Like, you try it before you buy kind of thing. That was fine for me. You love the game, boom, and then it's a risk because people might be really interested into the shareware more than the complete game. And that's a thing, because I know for a fact that with the shareware, everything was available. Multiplayer, serial, dial-up, serial. You could even play the game into a BBS. That was available. Yes, there was one episode in there and a couple of maps, but that was it. But that was enough. And I didn't buy the game at that time. That was a really long time ago. I just played the shareware, and that's it. I never played the game completely until really later. And it was really fun. It's still fun today. And now it's when you are involved in gaming, when you make a game, you got to get the funds. How do you get the funds? Probably investors or people that are willing to give you the money, but not for nothing. You have to make a contract. You have to sign things. This is really serious business, which means if you fuck up, you really fuck up real bad and you owe money. You have a deadline, and they lend you money, and they need it back in a certain amount of time. That's where the deadline comes in, and rush games comes in. But if it's done properly, you're okay. Which means one thing for a developer. Well, for developers, this is serious. They're stressed to the max. They always think about it. They always have to think about the investors and their consumers. And gamers, and fans. It's not easy, I know that. But today it's, hey, let's pre-order. You give $60, no contracts. You got nothing. They have nothing on you. They could take the pre-order and say, well, listen, they could invent a story. Some shit happened, we got stolen, and there's no more money, so we're just going to get away. Bye. They could go bankrupt and get away. They could do that. They could invent like a story just to get the money and get away with it. It's possible. I don't know if it's been done, but it is possible. Technically, it is. And what I mean is, today with pre-orders, there's no attachment from gaming companies to the fans. As in before, when they were involved with investors and all of those, I would say serious people, they had a chain on their necks, you know. They couldn't just, well, I'm sorry, but it's not going to work. Bye. No, they had to pay up, which means if they had $200,000 or $1 million on their hands from the investors and they spend it on employee salaries and it didn't work, too bad. You really had to think about it. But today, with pre-orders, you don't need that. You really, really don't need that. This is something that I really wish it could die. I don't want pre-orders anymore, but hey, it's not going to happen. I wish it could, really wish. Which brings me to number 6, crowd-funded games. Yeah, like I said previously, Kickstarter, pre-orders, Kickstarter. It's the same thing. I mean, wow. It's not really number 6. It's really number 5. But anyways, it's the whole thing about the pre-order thing. I really don't like it. Wow, and there's another thing here, which brings me to the real number 6. I don't know if it's a new trend. I've seen this recently. Well, only one time, and it takes one to do it. Rockstar, not really long ago on Steam, they changed the content of one of their games, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. There was some music in there that got removed. But if you want to pay the game right now, with the content removed, it's the same price. Which means, I'm not really a big, like, this is another thing that I'm not an expert about, copyright issues and all of that stuff, but isn't it illegal to change something to, before, I don't know, is it illegal? Is it legal to do so? I mean, you bought the game before with all of this stuff included. Is it legal to remove it and still say to the customers, listen, we're not going to give you refunds, no rebates, nothing at all, no credits, nothing at all, just what you got is what you got, and we're going to change everything. I don't know, it seems kind of, I feel like I've been stolen here. I didn't buy the, well, yeah, I did buy it, like the whole complete package, but I felt like I was stolen here. Like someone stole my game, or part of the stuff that I own, or I think I own, because it looks like today is you own the right to play the game, not the game itself, just to play it. It might be me. This is something new that I've seen. Only with Rockstar. Is there anything like any other games that have I don't know, that got this kind of change? You buy a game and then later something's changed in it, but the price remains the same. I don't know. Number 7, rushed games. This is wrong. I mean, like some games out there really feel they've been rushed, like they're incomplete, have a lot of bugs. Some do it intentionally, that I know. Like, for example, Ubisoft, Assassin's Creed, you know this game has been rushed. Well, the last one, Unity. It feels like it's been rushed, and it's buggy as hell. And some of them also act in a way, I know it's done intentionally. They do a game, they have a certain deadline, and they just release it on day 1, they have a patch. No, day 0, they have a patch. A couple of weeks later, there's another patch. You know for a fact, or anyone should know for a fact, that when you try to fix a game, when you hire developers, well, the same developers, to fix patches, to fix bugs, you've been working on those bugs or those fixes for a week or so. Which means even before the game was released, you were working on fixing the bugs. What the hell is this? I mean, I know investors or whoever lended money to the publishers or to the developers want their money back, but come on. I've also heard of a story, I think it was a year ago. I would have to get the link again to that, but it was really interesting. I didn't look into anything, but it was concerning, I think it was Battlefield or Call of Duty games. Some company I know I don't like saying that kind of stuff, or it's not really a rumor, but hey, if anyone can do it, put it in the comments below, go ahead. Something like, I think it was Electronic Arts that released a game, and before it was released, because they knew how the game would be. I think it wasn't going to be really that popular, so they gave their money back to the investors, and that created a whole lot of shit. So I don't know what game was it. I think it was Call of Duty, one of the games in Call of Duty series or Battlefield series. Not sure on that one. So, to me, like in conclusion to end all of this, well, these are the things that I really hate that I wish it could die in 2015 and even more in the future. I don't want it. I really don't. Like, microtransactions, don't force me to do it. Like, of all things, you play the game, then you get a chest, and that's one of the things that's been happening, like, especially in RPGs, where you kill an enemy, then you get the loot, and you got a chest or something that you can unlock, and that key or that thing you need to unlock, you need to pay for it. I don't want it. Like experience boost, powerful weapons, those kind of things. I'm not too comfortable with that. I really don't. Internet only games, bullshit. Enough said. You know, I never believe it. I'll never believe it. That's not true. You know, just be honest. Tell us that you're going to do this because you don't trust your consumers, which is really bad and you should never do, or never give the indirect message that you're going to do that. But at least be honest. I mean, even remove it after a couple of years. Seriously, it needs to be resolved. What if I want to play Diablo 3 in 10 years from now? What if? Will it be available? Will the servers be available? Will the game that I bought for $60 with the pay that I got from my employer because I worked for it, will it be for nothing? I don't want to think it is, because it's wrong. DLCs, if it's done right, yes, I love it. But if it's done wrong, like it probably always is right now, I don't like it. Games from the start that are made with DLCs should be destroyed. Like Evolve, I'm sorry, but I wish this game the most failure of all time. I don't want it to be successful. I really don't. I'm sorry, but that's how I feel. Games like that, no, it should not be. The Crew, I want Ubisoft to be like, can they go bankrupt or something? Can they change some of the people or all of the people like up there, the one that are the people that are making the decisions, please, something. I know that they got really good IPs and everything, but oh my god, the way that they handle the games and like their decision making process, no, really not. No, single player, it's not gonna go away. Wow, I know there's a current trend going for multiplayer these days, and single player seems to be non-existent, but there is always going to be a game that's going to be single player. And I think that multiplayer will be added. It's just to add extra longevity or just replayability. That's good. But if you do it wrong, you're just going to destroy the game. So, just gotta think about that. I mean, like, it's really not that complicated when you think about it. I mean, you pay $60 for a single-player campaign. What if you don't like it? I mean, it could be really short. Some players are really good, like really good. Like some people play the game, like play a single-player game, and they complete it in what, 16 hours? Some will make it in 4 hours. But if you add multiplayer to it, that adds to the fact that you're going to replay the game a lot, which happened in my case a couple of times. But it could also mean that the single player might be a bit rushed, and there might be an emphasis on the multiplayer aspect, not the single player. So you just got to be careful here. But it's never going to go away. I mean, I'm on PC. I'm not on console here, so I can't really say for indie developers on consoles. But for PC gaming, it's really there. It's something that's really popular and really high right now. Just look on Steam. There's a bunch of them. There's there's a couple of them on GOG, and if you go on Bundle Stars, there's a lot of them there. Green Man Gaming as well. A bunch of websites that features really cheap indie games sometimes, and it's really cheap, and I have a lot of fun. You don't need to spend $60 to have a lot of fun in PC gaming anyways. So my name is Fluffy the Destroyer. Thank you for watching my video. If you did like it, rate, subscribe, and comment. I just like to. What are your your trends in 2015 that you wanted to see to I can't speak anymore. What trend that you want to see disappear in 2015? Hey, that was easy. Anyways, see you later.